podcast is brought to you as a joint initiative between Anubhav, the National Institute of Social Defense, Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment, and Media for Community Foundation. Producers, CovaiCare Retirement Communities. If you're a senior citizen and need help, contact our Elder Helpline 14567 between 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. We promise to help you lead a better life. I repeat, 14567 between 8 a.m. and 8 p.m.
Namaskar, Vanakkam. Kovaivani welcomes you to yet another podcast. Today's speaker is Mrs. Jamuna Rangachari, who is an author and writer in Life Positive magazine. She strongly believes in oneness and humanity of the human race. She shares with us some profound thoughts in snippets. Come, let's listen.
John Rockefeller is someone many of us have heard of. Now, we do know of him because he was a very rich man, no doubt. But he also has donated a lot of money to charity, and this is why he is still transforming many lives. His story is something like this. When he was very young, he earned a lot of money. He became the richest in US first, then the world, and so on and so forth. Then he had a very chronic ache. And while he was almost dying, he thought of only one thing, that he wanted to give away all his money to people who could benefit from it. And so that did happen. The thought was heard, I would say, by the universe, and he did become better, and he went on and lived for many more years and donated so much to charity that till today, Rockefeller Foundation is well known all over the world. Thank you very much. Maybe we don't have as much money but we surely can help others to the best extent possible, so that someone remembers us for good deeds and for at least lending a hand. Be yourself. Everyone else is already taken, said Oscar Wilde. Truly, in the foolish game of competitions and comparisons that we play, there is too much grief everywhere for absolutely no reason. We all are unique, and it's absolutely foolish to compare ourselves with another, just like it is extremely foolish to compare one fruit with another. In fact, my wise aunt once told me, "My dear, never compare yourself. It either makes you feel bitter or vain." It was good advice, but like most good advice, it was easy to say, but could not be followed so easily. I belong to a family where many are musically inclined. I grew up in North India, but most of my cousins were in South India, and they were either learning vocal music or they knew how to play an instrument. Now, I too loved music and wanted to sing, but I was not as good as the others. So I was extremely insecure about the situation, even in the musical arena. And at that time, everybody else used to be learning, so I thought how lucky they are and they have so many opportunities, and I have absolutely no opportunity. But this is really foolish, because comparison in general makes us feel that we have nothing when they have everything. Now, at that time, I was in North India, so I actually did learn a lot of other things which my South Indian cousins till today don't know. It's not just about music, but about other people and how they live and how we should adapt to other conditions and different people. I did learn. But so today I know that I am luckier and much, much more privileged than them. So it is all about perception, right? So the moment we decide not to compare or to compare ourselves with those who are less fortunate than us, then life will indeed be very wonderful. So thank you, and I really hope we learn to compare in the right way to make a better life for ourselves. Forgiveness is something we keep hearing about, but we don't really understand that we are actually forgiving others for our own wellness. In the Bible, the Greek word that's translated as forgiveness is aphesis. Its literal meaning is to let go. Something like when we let go of a rope or something that we're holding on to. With forgiveness, the grip we are releasing is a mental one. We are letting go of the judgments and grievances that we are holding against a person or a community and our beliefs about how they should have behaved. Now we know that we have no control over anybody else. We only have control over our own self. And if we don't forgive others, what we are doing is we are actually only wounding our own selves. So the more we learn to let go and the more we learn to forgive what cannot be changed, the best our life would turn out to be. So yes, forgive others not for their well-being but for our own well-being should be the mantra of everybody's life. What are affirmations? This term is now being heard a lot. It is actually nothing but a practice of positive thinking and self-empowerment. Like even to a young child, maybe in nursery or in first standard, we tell them that you go to school, things will be fine, you will meet good people, and don't worry that people will hurt you or tease you or whatever. So it starts right at that time that we ask children to believe in themselves to make themselves feel better, and therefore 99% of the time it does work like that. The world works like that. And the more we think positively, the more positive events are bound to happen. Now I'm not saying that we will never have any pitfalls or people hurting us or what, but when we are powerful we know how to handle it. So in that sense, we need to work on telling ourselves that everything is bound to be fine if we believe in ourselves and the world as we see it. So let us make affirmations a part of our life and make it a mantra of well-being. Thank you. Fear. Now, fear is something that we all feel we never have. But actually, we have fear all around, whether it is about the future, about our children, or about our spouse, or anything at all. Point is, fear can be combated only by us if we introspect on what we are worried about when we know that everything is uncertain in life. So, might as well not worry and focus on hope and faith in the divine or in our own selves so that we know that nothing can be stopped, but we can handle it. Challenges will come, but we know that we are capable enough to handle whatever cards are dealt to us. And that is how we can win in the journey of life. And this is how we can be victors and not victims. Hypochondria, which was something which was not known as a word at all earlier, is now becoming so very common because almost everybody wants to become a superman, a superwoman, or a super child even. See, we all are not born to be perfect. We are given certain plus points and some minus points, which is fine. And we just have to accept it and move on in the journey of life to the best of our ability. And nothing more than that, because it doesn't help to compete with anyone who is differently structured. So it's better we focus on our own growth and our own personal skills and whatever best we can do in the journey of our lives. There is one pill which I honestly think almost everybody should take every day. And this is free of cost and definitely a pill which we should and must take every day. Now, I'm not talking about, pranayama or breathing fresh air or looking at the sun, or, things like those physical things which one should do. Or, even something like having a wellness tablet or something. No. I am talking about our attitude of gratitude. We need to live life with an attitude of gratitude. Wherever we are, in whatever space we are, we always have something to be grateful for. This is something we should never ever forget in life. Because if we don't live with an attitude of gratitude, there are other extremists, an attitude where we are looking for things to be miserable about. Like, why did I not get this? Why did I not get that? Why am I so unlucky? Why is my neighbor so lucky? Things like that. That is how the human mind works. But if we focus on all the things that we need to be grateful for. Right from the beginning of drinking a cup of tea, or even looking at somebody who's smiling at us, everything is an act which we are blessed to have as part of our lives. So that is something which we should always remember to never belittle, because there are so many people who don't have this. Like when I said about the cup of tea, there are people who maybe don't have tea. I'm not talking about financial resources. I'm talking about, maybe the ability to make a cup of tea because of their health reasons, or a situation like a curfew or something where they just cannot get it. So there are always people who don't have that facility which we have. So every time, always live with an attitude of gratitude. Thank you.
Thank you, Jamuna, for coming up with pearls of wisdom in capsules. Thanking you once again, and signing off on behalf of Koivani is Revati Bhaskar.
இந்த வலையொலி அனுபவ், தேசிய சமூக பாதுகாப்பு நிறுவனம், சமூக நீதி மற்றும் அதிகாரமளித்தல் அமைச்சகம் மற்றும் மீடியா ஃபார் கம்யூனிட்டி ஃபவுண்டேஷன் இவர்களின் கூட்டு முயற்சியாக உங்களிடம் கொண்டு வரப்பட்டது. திட்ட ஒருங்கிணைப்பாளர்கள் டாக்டர் ஆர் ஸ்ரீதர் மற்றும் ஆலோக் வர்மா அவர்கள். வானொலி ஒருங்கிணைப்பாளர்கள் பூஜா முராடா, கௌசல்யா மற்றும் சாய் சுதா அவர்கள். தயாரிப்பாளர்கள் கோவை வாணி, CovaiCare ரிட்டையர்மெண்ட் கம்யூனிட்டிஸ். நீங்கள் ஒரு மூத்த குடிமகனாக இருந்து உதவி தேவைப்பட்டால் எங்கள் எல்டர்லைன் ஹெல்ப் லைனை தொலைபேசி எண் 145667 இல் தொடர்பு கொள்ளவும். காலை 8 மணி முதல் இரவு 8 மணி வரை. ஒரு சிறந்த வாழ்க்கையை வாழ உங்களுக்கு உதவி செய்ய நாங்கள் உறுதி அளிக்கிறோம். மறுபடியும் கேளுங்கள். தொலைபேசி எண் 145667 காலை 8 மணி முதல் இரவு 8 மணி வரை.
That's all for today, folks. Be safe. Fight COVID with 2 vaccinations. Wear a mask when you go out. Keep safe distance. Observe proper hygiene. We must win. We will win. Thank you.